We do not have free will. That is why you can't do a habit. You are literally physically incapable of starting. The accumulation of everything that happened in your life plus your genetics are the reason why you can't take a certain action. When you go into an ice cream shop and you're presented with the choice of eating either chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, you're always going to pick one of them. And it doesn't matter how strong you feel that you could have picked chocolate instead of vanilla or vanilla instead of chocolate. It doesn't matter. You are not physically capable. The neurons inside your brain don't align at the right moment, at the right time for you to perform a certain action. Your hormones aren't in shape. Maybe a belief that you have about the world doesn't allow you to even consider a certain action. Maybe you lack knowledge. If you're physically unable, you physically cannot choose anything in the same way you cannot choose to fly. You do not have the capability to do that. Of course, I can be absolutely and totally wrong, but it's not provable. It's something societies have been debating for decades. However, my argument is that it is the most reasonable conclusion if we take out supernatural entities like God. If free will is real, then belief in it needs as much faith as believing in a God. Because all the best arguments for free will are, one, I just really feel like I can choose otherwise. I just have this deep feeling I could have chosen otherwise. Even though every single action has proof against you picking something. And the second best way to prove free will is to alter its definition so much that it doesn't become a really free choice. Let's go to the first one. Really, really, really feeling it. That's what the majority of people do. I remember seeing a bunch of YouTube videos where like, oh, just me using my free will, and they go out and like, I don't know, sing in public or start dancing or start being super social. And sometimes people say you can just do whatever you want. You can just change your life. You can just become a circus clown, or you can just quit your corporate job and become an entrepreneur because you have free will. And it's apparently something that people forget. The truth is, even choosing to be a circus clown or leaving your 9 to 5, those actions were completely caused by factors outside yourself, plus some factors inside yourselves like your biology. But you couldn't have picked otherwise. Let me elaborate on my point earlier of there is absolutely no proof of you being able to pick anything else in that precise moment, because the factors that you picked are the only ones that you have evidence that you were able to do. And if you come at me explaining this one time that you picked chocolate ice cream and then a year later now you like vanilla ice cream, guess what? Something caused you to change your preferences. It is not a completely free choice. And now let's go into the changing the definitions. If you define free will as any choice, then sure, free will is real. But I'm talking about a free choice. And to me, a free choice means being able to pick otherwise. And that just that's not a thing. Another thing people talk about is randomness existing. I can't explain this very well. I don't know, some astrophysicist or some metaphysicist, I don't know, determined or came to the conclusion that it is very reasonable that at the subatomic level, randomness exists. So maybe your actions are random sometimes, like not caused and can't be predicted even with a perfect prediction model, because sometimes randomness is possible. Well, let's say that's the case. That doesn't mean your choice is free. It means your choice is random and still not free. Now, this is my favorite one. Believe it or not, I am Christian. And first of all, I'm arguing against free will. My position on free will is it is unreasonable to believe in free will depending only on human logic. I act as if free will exists sometimes, and I think I'm a pretty high agency individual. I like to achieve outcomes, even though they're all technically caused. Sometimes I choose to turn off that belief on and on when it serves me, when it doesn't, and when it doesn't serve me. For example, sometimes I could be too hard on myself, and I can say, okay, at the end of the day, how would I have been able to do better if everything in my life has caused me to be this way? Or sometimes I'm like, okay, I really need to change. I haven't changed. I need to take agency and do whatever is needed to change. Let me explain real quick why I'm a Christian and I don't believe in free will. The Bible talks about will a lot, and it sounds unreasonable and illogical to believe that God would command so many things from us, would command morality and for us to take certain decisions over the other. But that doesn't mean those decisions are free and that you are able to do otherwise. It states multiple times that God knows what we will do. And I've heard Christians say, if you're watching a movie, God's like watching us as if we watch movies. And if you press play, the characters won't be able to do otherwise, but it is still their decisions. Yes, they are still their decisions, but they literally can't choose anything else. A murderer, a sinner they can choose not to sin, but it is not a free choice. It is a choice most likely caused, and you can't do otherwise. The Bible agrees that you can't do, the word can, and maybe is a very hard thing to define. I don't know, some of you might think, oh, it's so easy, the ability can isn't that hard, why am I overthinking? But the fact is, in some way, the future is set, destiny is set according to the Bible, and God knows what you're going to do, and it is set in stone whether you will be a sinner and go to heaven or hell or not. But of course, it's better, and it's not wrong to expect others to make better choices. We don't know what is set, so we have to use the free will that we do not have in order to be the best people that we can be according to whatever our definitions of good is, whether good exists or not. I don't know. I choose faith. I believe God is illogical according to what humans have made out logic to be, but I choose faith and I choose to believe in God. God bless you. If you believe in love, you already believe in God because God is love, but who am I to know?